Yes, now, and welcome back to episode 172. It is December somehow, and we have got a very special guest to kick off the festivities of December. And before I introduce our very, very special guest, a massive thanks to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded Podcast. Whether you need card supplies, custom card stands, great preparation kits, or whatever hobby needs you require, head over to their website, check out their shop, or use the link in our bio and use the code TTP10 to save 10% off. And a lot of people out there have been asking, when is the return? We will be finding out today because the one man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. El Toro Cards is in the building. Jason, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for inviting me on, even though I am basically non-existent in the card hobby world now. I wasn't famous, but I was doing something in the hobby. But now, I'm starting to get back into it. Hopefully, go full force on the social media side that I was doing before. But yeah, I know I look a bit homeless, need a haircut, but that'll be all sorted for the YouTube videos that are supposedly coming out.
Like I say, we'll start with that anyway, because we'll talk about your vendoring this year, which obviously you've stepped in quite a lot to and more. But obviously, we won't think about what hasn't been released. We'll talk about, obviously, we are coming to the end of the year now. So 2026 is on the horizon. Are you confirming YouTube is making a return?
Yeah. The deal is sealed. I can't remember who says that, but the deal is sealed. It's going to be a good year. Obviously, I always say obviously everyone says that, but going to be recording more. I think TikTok as well, because I always say TikTok is the biggest platform for me out of like YouTube, Instagram. Everyone's got TikTok. Like my mum's got TikTok. Someone's nan's got TikTok. Like it's a broad world out there, but TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels. As you said, obviously I'm doing more of the vending side. I'm starting to go into the buying and selling stage, even though normally I would be a collector, and then whatever I have spare, I'll just sell at the table. But I'm going to be going into more buying and selling, trading, and then use that profit on the stuff that I actually like, and obviously collecting. But yeah, got some good ideas. Well, you can vouch as well. Me, Ronnie, and Dan, obviously, Sports Card UK. If you don't know him, you're living under a rock. He's probably one of the biggest YouTubers in the UK for the card world. And he was having a chat to me, and he was basically giving a little telling off to me.
Hold on, for a premise, let's just set the scene. We're not just talking about you. We are in a lovely Irish pub in the heart of London at about 11 p.m. on a Thursday night after a trade night. I've just set the scene, so let's go back into it.
So we've had a few beers. I wasn't even going to say shots here. We haven't had shots, but a few beers, settled down the mood. Everyone's, all good, ready to talk. And then Dan's just basically given me a George Foreman grilling, slapped me on the wrist and like, well, you're not uploading. No, but it's out of good heart. And I think that gave me the finger up to upload. And actually, because you know what it is? I think I was talking to Real Harry's World, obviously London card show owner who organizes the event. He was like, what did he say? It literally just went through my head, but that's what it is. Literally come back. So when I went to the card shows, like starting in the hobby, when I first started like releasing YouTube videos, like there was an urge for me to record. I was like, let me get my camera out quick, let me record this, let me try and do this still. And then I slowly lost the passion for it, and I think I'm starting to get that passion back with obviously Dan giving me a grilling. People talk to me. Even someone uploaded on their story for the Brighton card show saying, where is El Toro's YouTube video coming out? I was like, I haven't recorded one. I didn't even think about it. But when you've got people that come up to you in shows, obviously Ronnie's got the same with obviously, listening to the podcast and stuff. For someone to actually come up to you and take their time to watch your video, it's crazy for me for someone to do that. I'm like, why would you do that? But it's going to be a good year. Obviously, 2026. Yes, 2026. 2026 is going to be El Toro's year. The hobby year.
Yeah, as I say, I think the good thing about when the content does resume as well from your side, it's not just into sports as well, which is going to be, I think, quite an interesting way to see it as well. Because a lot of people just focus on sports, focus on Pokemon, focus on whatever it is, but you're sort of got a broad horizon of, yes, you do a lot of soccer. You've also done basketball at times. Now you're going into Pokemon, One Piece, League of Legends, like. And do you think that's something you want to show off on your channel? Is actually the wide range of. There's a lot of stuff out there, and you don't have to just focus on like one field.
No, 100%. I think a lot of people as well, when they go into, say, for example, soccer, and they know a lot about it. So I like to say I know a lot about the sports card world, like soccer wise. And then going over to Pokemon, you're like, what is this? Yeah. I'm still confused nowadays. And then you learn a bit about Pokemon. Then you're like, oh, well, let's go to One Piece. And you're like, oh my God. And then you don't even bother going to League of Legends because that's a whole different world. But no, it is confusing. Obviously, I want to try to give a bit more information to other people that want to get into even the card world in general. I think it was quite tough when I think we went around a sort of the same time. I think it was a bit earlier than me, but it was quite hard to find out what are good sets, what's a good, a good buyer, what do you want to collect. Now there's so much information out there compared to what there was. So just want to give a bit more information. Obviously, One Piece I started watching like 2 weeks ago, and it's 1,000 episodes, and I'm on like 182 now, which it's a long climb, but it's worth the end. And even Pokemon's a massive thing compared to like when I first entered the hobby. I thought, sports football, that's going to be the biggest because football is the biggest sport in the world. Everyone watches it. The World Cup, Champions League, West Ham. Well, not West Ham, but
let's not take the mick now, shall we?
Let's not. Yeah, it can. So looking into that, and then I saw Pokemon. I couldn't believe how big Pokemon was, or it still is. And then even One Piece, like I started obviously just watching it, and I didn't realize how massive it was. I thought One Piece might be a little bit lower than Yu-Gi-Oh! It is lower than Pokemon, but the prices and cards and the people wanting them is skyrocketed, and I want to get into it, learn a bit about it. Some of the artwork's amazing, but yeah, hopefully we can bring that to the YouTube channel, Instagram, TikToks, and I need to learn myself as well because I'm clueless in One Piece.
I was going to say as well, obviously we've referred to it originally about vendoring. Obviously now you are a stalwart, you're at every single London card show, and then, for example, you've been at the recent Brighton card show, Sports Card Social, others. So how are you finding that? Because obviously it's been quite a long journey from starting vendoring to now, and like how are you finding it at the moment? Plus also, like, what kind of stuff are you like buying and selling? Because everyone has that kind of point that they are not, I wouldn't say specialist in, but they know that part of the market like to a T.
It's obviously developed. So obviously when I first started, I just had I had vintage, I had a load of different stuff, and I still do. My approach now is probably, obviously, I know it's a bit of a sore subject, but a lot of people buy a percentage, obviously, because they need to make their money and stuff. So I'm going to go into that, obviously buying at a certain percentage, and obviously, hopefully people can sell to me. But more of like the case, like I think everyone says it, cases. Your autos that are low numbered, anything lower numbered, like out of 25, out of 10s, out of 50s, like that's the sort of stuff to go to, and especially London Card Show. Joe says it, dances it. Saka, as you're an Arsenal fan, you would know Saka's so liquid. I couldn't believe like how liquid he is. Just Premier League stuff, like for me, and I still do it. What's the point of me having a Gavi card at a London Card Show? Don't get me wrong, you can have Gavi collectors, but to have like, I don't know, who's equivalent to Gavi? Let's say, I don't know, he's not, but Martinelli.
Yeah.
Martinelli is an Arsenal player, so there's going to be loads of Arsenal fans, especially at the London Card Show. So I need to, take that approach a bit more. But vending, I feel like people think vending's easy. I thought at the start, all you're doing is selling cards. It's like a wheeling dealing. But honestly, it's like, obviously, I do want to talk to people, but talking to people for 6-7 hours. If you're doing the London Card Show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it does get tiring. And I do enjoy it. You're talking to other people about something that you enjoy collecting, buying, selling, stuff like that. So no, I do love vending. I always recommend for someone to do it. And a lot of people are like, I don't know if I have enough stock. I've rolled to card shows with barely any stock and made it happen. No, I enjoy it a lot, and it is hard to obviously try to go to every show, but there are more shows popping up everywhere. Now, there's a card show like 5 minutes away from me. I was like, why not? But no, shout out to London Card Show, mate. They're just, what they're doing in the card scene it's immense. Like you go to every show. I say every top loaded podcast, but every show they do, just level it. And I don't know how they do it. It's like they've got Mystic Meg. Like this is what's going to happen. But no, enjoying vending. You know, I'm going to try. You know, keep on doing it. Obviously, potentially going to the London Card Show February. You've got Sports Card Social in Milton Keynes. I think that's in the stadium now, which is quite cool. I'm going to be. I don't think I'm vending that one, but I'm going to be going to that one. Just try and go to as many card shows as possible for content reasons, obviously, in 2026. But just, you know, the social side, meeting people. And I always say now, oh, pardon me, the best time or the best way to buy cards is at card shows.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about delivery. You can see the card in person, and it's just you've got more availability there than anywhere else. Obviously, eBay and, you know, whatnot and stuff. But I think at card shows, you get to know the seller. They can give you a good deal sometimes. Over eBay, you're going to be messaging people. It's just, yeah, card shows for me are the best way to buy cards.
Yeah, I know you just mentioned card shows there. And this year was the first year I ever flew overseas for a card show. And I know you're thinking about going to the Dublin Card Show, which is the end of February. How exciting is that a thing now that's right? I always say it's like, I know it's a Pokemon reference, but it's an evolution in the card scene where like you're used to going to like getting a train or a car to a show, but when you're making that trip, like for example, myself, lucky enough this year to do the National and also do Dublin, but how much are you looking forward to like even exploring new countries, but at the same time taking in like the card world at the same time?
I think that's one good thing about cards. Like you go to, like obviously I'm going to be going Dublin anyway, but this is the first time I'm going Dublin. Like you can use cards, so obviously you go to the card show and stuff, but you can, you know, explore, see, you know, what, you know, other stuff they have. Obviously Guinness Factory, you've got other stuff in Ireland, but even if you go to, as you said, to the States, you go to, where was the National this year? Chicago. You can go to Chicago Bulls game. You can go to stuff like that, and it makes you like explore like the, you know, the city or the town, wherever the card show is. But no, I'm very excited to go to Dublin. It's going to be very weird to like go on a plane with cards. I've never been on a plane with cards. It is really weird, but and obviously going with the lads, it's going to be very, very good. Bit nervous. See how well, obviously you've got the Euro, which is a different conversion rate. Obviously you had that with the National. I don't know how that's going to work out, but no, very excited. I wish I was vendoring, but it's just how am I going to get my cards all overseas without, you know, something happening? Knowing me, my luck, something happen with the cards, they'll fly off, you know, in Isle of Man or something, you know what I mean? But no, very excited for Dublin. Planning obviously to the National 1 year. I don't know what year, but we're going to pick a year. But I think for everyone, National is the one you have to go to, or even like American show in general, like Dallas. You've got, I can't remember how many card shows there are in America. There's a lot, but yeah, and obviously you see different, you know. Yeah, no, it's very exciting. It's very exciting, and hopefully Dublin will be a good show for buying, selling, and basically trying Guinness for the first, like a proper Guinness for the first time. Because I'm not counting near my area.
No, we won't count around it. Despite you do pour a good Guinness, I will say that on record. He does pour a good Guinness, but we'll move on from that. And obviously, there's a few releases coming up soon, and before I get into the big release, which comes out this week, which is obviously the Dynasty. However, I've got a question for what I want to ask. So I know you've already ordered a box that you're waiting to arrive. No, it's not ETBs for the Pokemon. You are waiting for a Labubu box to arrive.
I forgot about that.
He's forgot about it. I haven't. He ordered a Labubu Chrome or whatever set was. So what was the logic behind that one? Because it is quite cool. Is that for you, or is that an excuse? Are you using your partner as an excuse to open another box of cards?
Invest in Labubu now, mate, while it's down. You know, while it's down, always buy the dip. No, I thought, like, I think at the time, like, I've even got my own Labubu. You can't see it, but 45 quid for a box. I think it was 45, 50 quid to open a box of cards for 45, 50 quid. I know it's not, you know, your Dynasty or like Topps Chrome Sapphire. But it's something to open. Obviously, if your missus or your partner actually enjoys Labubu, it's a win-win. To be honest, I think the artwork's not as good as it could be. But yeah, no, buying boxes. I think if people know me, that I don't really buy boxes. I don't really open boxes, because what's the point for me spending 300 quid when the card I want is like 200 quid? I'd rather save that 100 quid. And obviously, you've got the, you know, the joys of if you get a 1 of 1 or, you know, a rookie auto of a good player like Yamal or something. third time rookie anyway. But no, Labubu box will be exciting. I actually forgot about it. Well, apparently it should be shipping in December, which I don't know when in December. But no, yeah, I forgot about the Labubu boxes. Yeah.
Probably the first time this has ever been used in the same sentence, from Labubus to Dynasty. Obviously, this the EQL went out today for Dynasty. It's £1,300 per box, and for people who don't know, that is £1,300 for one card. It is the highest of high-end sets for tops, and especially the UEFA Champions League, UEFA Club competition ones. But now Dynasty is Champions League, which is superior.
It's crazy.
Finally, Arsenal are in Dynasty. Thanks for the last release bringing that out. But yeah, I've seen the design, and it people have been asking the question online, and I've seen it quite a lot of. They're comparing it to the last one. Obviously, if they would have brought out exactly the same looking set, then it would have been, well, you've got to change it up.
Well, yeah.
However, for me, it reminds me more of like an immaculate kind of. It looks a bit more glossy, like there's like the lines coming off of it. But what's your opinion on the imagery, what you've seen so far? Because some of the cards, I've got to admit, do look spectacular.
I'm being honest. If you're charging 1.3k British pounds, you've got to make it look nice. Obviously, the big talk of it, I think it's in this set, Mo Salah, first time signing. So I think, I'm being honest, they could get away with keeping the same image, even the same card, because they've got Salah, obviously first time signing, which is going to be massive. I think there was a bounty for a guy in Egypt for 150k for the one of one, which. Well, it would be nice to have 150k to spend on the card, but no. For 1.3k, it has to look nice. Some of the images, do look nice. Obviously, it'll be better in person. But one thing I actually got to say, now I PC Pedri, but why is Pedri not in? Why is Pedri not in? Like Gavi's in. Like I like Gavi, but he's been in. Well, we were talking about this actually. We think he could be injured when they started making products and stuff like that, which is understandable. But Pedri, you've put him in every set, from then till now, and you don't put him in one of the biggest sets out there. So a bit annoying with that. I was going to buy a spot in dub breaks, but guess not. I have to buy the Messi spot, which no, but. Yeah, when a set like this comes out, I think, all heads are turned, seeing who can pull the one-of-one of Salah or the one-of-one of Messi. But no, it's going to be a good set. Obviously, I don't think I'll be participating in it due to the financial funds and obviously Pedro not being it. But it's obviously a good set for the higher-end people who, like to spend money and can afford it. But, hopefully we can... I want to see what the Salah Auto looks like. I think they leaked it. When he apparently signed a Panini Adrenaline, which I don't know how, but no, hopefully it will look like a good and nice set that people can get.
Yeah, just piggyback on. I think it's one of them that I think it's Dynasty. Same with F1. I have no interest in opening F1 cards, but I will watch near enough all the F1 Dynasty YouTube videos out there. It's just fun the high risk, high reward of. Someone will open one of them boxes and get a card that's worth about 300, 200, 300 quid. And the next person will do it and the card's worth 150 grand.
Well, it was like we were looking, I think me and LGL Collects LGL Collects, we were looking and we said, so say for example, a breaking company charges, say they do a case break of Dynasty and they charge about 2 to 3 grand for Messi. And we thought if you get a Messi card, obviously it's going to be on card, auto, patch, whatever, what would it go for? And we checked, it's like 15, 20k. So to say to someone, spend 2 to 3 grand and you can possibly get 20 or 15 grand, they're going to take that risk. And obviously, it being Messi and stuff like that. But then obviously you can get a random player that no one's ever heard of. I think I saw someone open last year's box and they got Yusuf Makoko, probably about 100 quid card, or like probably maybe 150. Yeah. But spend 1k, 2k, and get 150 quid card. I'm never gonna take that risk.
Yeah, no. As soon as I see the checklist and there was no Arsenal women's players, I knew Dynasty weren't for me. Not like I was going to buy a box. I was going to wait for the second-hand market, but we'll leave that to the high rollers. But like I say, if you are interested in a case break, Dub Breaks are doing one this Friday, I
Yes.
believe at 7 p.m. over on Whatnot. Head over to their bio. It's going to be a fun watch. I will definitely be watching it.
I'll try watch.
Yeah, I'll watch it with the like the gratitude of not have just spent like £1,300 on a box or like £2,000 on the Messi spot, but let the big players get that. But there is another couple of releases this week, just so people do know. As of recording this, obviously Tuesday as this comes out, Pixar Gold went on EQL today at £330 a box, I believe it was.
I think it was £350, and you get 9 cards. For 9 cards, and then one of them is like a auto or something special, a special card.
For you Disney fans out there, I know obviously our good friend GW would be interested in that one. So hopefully he won the EQL. And for you, and there's not many of you out there, but for you baseball fans, including myself, Alan and Ginter is out tomorrow, which I will be buying.
Well, obviously you've told me who, obviously they have like not weird people, but like celebrities you wouldn't expect to sign cards for baseball. And so you said there was Al Pacino, which well, random, but good.
In the same sentence, Al Pacino and a boogie with a hoodie. Like that just shows you the wide variety of autos in this set.
And DJ Khaled.
And also you can get a T-Rex fossil. So in the same, it's a really cool, unique set. I've always been a big fan of it. I probably will try and pick up a box tomorrow. They normally retail at the £120 mark. Okay. It's a good rip. So if anyone out there wants a fun rip for baseball, that's coming out. But obviously, it won't be too many of you out there. But yeah, there's not many. This kind of bit of year, you get kind of the releases. Obviously, it's all gearing up now to 2026 with Premier League Chrome, for example. NBA Chrome is out this week as well, or beginning of next week. I think it's this week, which is going to be quite a fun one to get ripped. But obviously, Jace, just to end up this episode, obviously looking forward to 2026 with like the Premier League Chrome, NFL licenses going to the tops. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to see, like any sets? Obviously, I know obviously we're going to say a nice faker. For people who don't know, I was going to say for after second best League of Legends player of all time, but no one would understand the joke. So the best League of Legends player of all time. Is there anything you want to see from, just not A for your own personal collection, or B, just something cool to see?
I'll probably, I'll name every sport. So say soccer. There's probably not much. Obviously, you've got, it's not going to happen, but I would say Stadium Club Chrome to come back. That set is.
Would say. I reckon. I've no intel on this. I think Stadium Club Chrome returns, but Premier League.
Oh, well, I wouldn't complain. Stadium Club Chrome for me is.
You could have Paqueta on like his mobile gambling app saying how many yellow cards am I going to get today?
Paqueta on Funky Time. You know what I mean? Like, So if I'd say soccer, I'll probably say Stadium Club Chrome. Mate, even if it's like the second division in Korea, Stadium Club Chrome, I'll take it. The images are very good. If I'd say let's go all fit. Pokemon. Pokemon. Ooh.
Actually, I'll tell you what. We could say what do we want. So for people who don't know, the Natural History Museum have a pop-up Pokemon event.
Yes.
I think it runs from January to the end of March. We've got tickets for it in March. So I would say, are we hoping for a cool promo card?
Well, 100%. I think obviously you said there would. Well, if the best way to, I think, is Cubone. Obviously,
that's who I think would be quite cool.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Even if, they're probably going to get Pikachu in it, a Pikachu skeleton. Who knows? But something to do with Pokemon, probably that. One Piece. Just more boxes come out. Obviously, stuff to get cheaper so I can buy them all. That would be ideal. Obviously, more Pedri in the PC. I haven't really been PCing much Pedri at the moment. I haven't bought much. Poor. And then League of Legends, just bring out more cards, man. It's like I enjoy it so much. I spend so much money on it. I'm probably the only person who spends money on it. But no, to get Faker, obviously Faker, as Ronnie explained, greatest person of all time. Exactly. Yeah. No, greatest esports player of all time.
Yeah.
If you know esports, you know Faker. It's like if you know football, you know Messi. That's how it is. But maybe more stuff to release from them. But no, as a whole, the year, not even just collecting wise, upload more on the social media, enjoy more collecting, which I'm enjoying it already, and potentially go to more card shows. Normally I base it off of London Card Show, obviously. What else? The Milton Keynes Card Show. I want to try branch out a bit more, maybe go to the north a bit more, and see what I can buy.
Yeah, I think 2026 sounds very exciting. Like we say, the breaking news of the episode is El Toro YouTube channel and TikTok and wherever else he is returning very soon, if not early stages of next year. But obviously, like usual, we've read massive thanks for joining on the podcast yet again. And no doubt we'll have to get you on maybe just after that Dublin card show to see how your journey and everything was.
Yeah, I'll be pissed out of my head. I'll be like, oh, I can't do this. No, but it'll be good. It'll be good.
But if you don't obviously follow Jason at El Toro Cards on Instagram or anywhere else, the link will be down below. Like I say, massive thanks for joining the but massive thanks for everyone who's listening. Obviously, weekly episodes are back now for the special Christmas run-in. So we look forward to seeing you next week. That feels weird. I haven't said that for a while. But massive thanks yet again to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded Podcast. Whether you need card supplies, custom card stands, grey preparation kits, or whatever hobby needs you require, head over to their website, check out their shop, or use a link in the bio to save 10% off your whole order with TTP10. But most importantly, hope everyone out there is staying safe, buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. But most importantly, happy hobbying and good night.